The invasion of Earth began on a Monday morning, which was the first and most unforgivable error the Carvel Dominion would ever commit. Across the spirals, Earth had been classified as a low-priority death world, its inhabitants marked as physically unimpressive, technologically uneven, and emotionally unstable. The Dominion's analysts saw this instability as weakness, not realizing it was merely exhaustion. At exactly 8:17 local time, enormous black vessels tore through Earth's atmosphere, blotting out the sky above major cities. Traffic froze, coffee was spilled, and millions of humans looked up with the same expression they wore when their alarm clocks rang too early. The Carvel Supreme Commander broadcast his ultimatum in every known human language, demanding immediate surrender. The response was silence, followed by one confused voice from a half-asleep radio host, asking if this was some kind of prank. Humans did not scream, they did not riot, and they certainly did not surrender. They sighed, collectively, like a species that had already had a very long day. Military channels lit up, not with panic, but with irritation. Pilots were recalled mid-commute, soldiers were ordered to gear up before finishing breakfast, and officers muttered about paperwork. And over time, the Carvel mistook this lack of visible fear for ignorance. They deployed ground forces into city centers, towering biomechanical soldiers designed to inspire terror. Instead, humans filmed them on handheld devices, complaining about blocked sidewalks and delayed trains. One civilian was overheard yelling that aliens had better pay for the damage to his car. The Carvel invasion doctrine relied on shock and awe. Earth responded with sarcasm and traffic complaints. And somewhere deep in Dominion Command, an analyst quietly realized that invading on a Monday might have been a mistake. The first shots were fired when a Carvel patrol vaporized a police cruiser as a demonstration of power. The crowd scattered, not in terror, but in practiced efficiency learned from decades of emergency drills and bad weather. Within minutes, the humans stopped running and started organizing. Local police units switched tactics instantly, coordinating evacuations while feeding real-time data to military networks. Reserve units were activated, and civilian infrastructure shifted into emergency mode without a single broadcast of panic. The Carvel commanders watched in confusion as resistance formed faster than predicted. Human soldiers arrived still adjusting helmets, some clearly annoyed at being dragged out of bed. One tank commander was recorded saying that he had requested this Monday off. Then the tanks opened fire. Carvel ground units were strong, but they were built to intimidate, not to adapt. Human weapons were ugly, loud, and brutally practical. Missiles slammed into alien armor, exploiting weak points found within minutes by battlefield analysts and machine learning systems. The invaders escalated, deploying energy shields and orbital fire support. Human response escalated too, with air defenses lighting up the sky like an angry constellation. Fighter jets screamed overhead, piloted by men and women who were now fully awake and deeply offended. Civilians did not hide quietly. They volunteered, repaired, transported, coded, and communicated, turning social networks into real-time intelligence grids. Every human with a device became part of the war effort. The Carvel had planned for armies. They had not planned for an entire planet that treated invasion as an inconvenience to be solved. And the phrase "worst Monday ever" began trending worldwide. By midday, the Carvel Dominion realized Earth was not collapsing. Human command structures were flexible, decentralized, and terrifyingly creative. When one base was destroyed, 3 more popped up somewhere else. The Dominion deployed their elite shock legions, veterans of 100 conquered worlds. They landed in fortified formations, weapons glowing with exotic energy. Within hours, they were pinned down by human forces using improvised tactics and stolen alien tech. Human engineers reverse-engineered captured weapons in record time. By afternoon, modified alien energy rifles were being used against their creators. By evening, human soldiers were improving them. Psychological warfare failed entirely. Broadcasts meant to induce fear were turned into memes, remixed with music, and shared across the planet. One alien commander's threat was turned into a ringtone. The Carvel Command Council argued. Some demanded orbital annihilation. Others urged retreat. All of them were watching casualty numbers climb beyond acceptable limits. Humans fought with a terrifying mix of discipline and improvisation. They broke rules the galaxy considered fundamental. They used outdated weapons alongside experimental ones. Sometimes in the same battle, the Dominion finally understood the truth. Earth was not unprepared, it was merely busy. At 1842, Earth launched its counteroffensive, human fleets. previously hidden or dismissed as outdated, emerged from docks in orbital shadows. They moved with confidence that suggested years of planning for something like this. Carvel ships found themselves outmaneuvered by vessels that looked primitive, but fought with ruthless efficiency. Human commanders targeted logistics, communications, and command nodes first. It was not glorious. It was systematic. Boarding actions followed. Human soldiers breached alien ships with terrifying determination. They fought room to room, adapting instantly to unfamiliar environments. Captured Carvel officers were shocked to learn this was not humanity's first planetary defense scenario. Earth had war-gamed invasions for generations. They'd always assumed someone would eventually come. As night fell, the invasion fleet began to fracture. Some ships attempted to flee, only to be intercepted. Others surrendered, broadcasting confusion and disbelief. One human general summed it up perfectly during a global briefing: "You don't attack a species on a Monday, especially one that runs on caffeine and spite." The war was not over, but the outcome was clear. By Tuesday morning, the Carvel Dominion formally surrendered. Their surviving leaders signed agreements under the watchful eyes of a species that had gone to work, fought a war, and still complained about being tired. Earth accepted the surrender with conditions. Humanity did not seek revenge. They demanded accountability, reparations, and very clear warnings be sent across the galaxy. Earth was not to be underestimated. Galactic historians would later record the invasion as a turning point. Not because Earth was the most powerful world, but because it was the most stubborn. Other civilizations learned a simple rule: never assume exhaustion equals weakness, never mistake irritation for fear, and above all, never try to conquer Earth on a Monday morning.